PB. So yeah.
So we're going. The first, well, I don't know if you've already seen everybody in the chat. If you've already seen a run of this game, the first thing you're gonna be meeting is bunnies, and that's not pleasant. That's not pleasant.
Yeah, I like them as creatures, not as things in this game. You kind of have to catch them all, but they don't like being the nicest thing.
Yeah, let's say that one small mistake, and it's a guaranteed time loss of about 10 seconds if you're not careful. So, of course, it's at the very beginning of the run, so you can be quite reset happy. Not in a tournament.
Yeah,
of course.
And it can be difficult at times to move correctly with Luigi physics in these Mario games, which I guess we should explain why they're playing Luigi. There's a huge intro in this game that Luigi you just kind of skip.
Do you guys know the controversy in Super Mario Sunshine race file? Don't want to see a 5-minute cutscene? Just play Luigi in Galaxy and you skip that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Luigi is just kind of I think a bonus character for getting 100% finish of this game.
Yeah, technically 100% is after you rebeat the game with Luigi, but the point is that Luigi.
You understand what I'm trying to say. 120 stars with Mario, you can unlock Luigi, and Luigi's has a few differences, but most important thing is, hey, you skip the couple minutes of intro.
Of course, also there are some skips that are Luigi only, and I can mention the 2 skips that we'll be doing that Luigi only when we get to them. I think also Claire does a different route because of 2P.
Somebody mentioned this to me, but I don't exactly remember what the differences were.
It's pretty simple. Since 2-player, basically 2 players means she's using 2 Wiimotes.
Yes.
Which can give a couple of additional functions. A grounded jump that's higher, and of course a second pointer. Also, you can do a jump in midair, but that's a more weird stack, let's say.
Yeah, I actually learned about this being useful very recently, and I come from Kirby's Epic Yarn, where there's also a lot of crazy use of 2-player, so I always find interest in stuff like this. From my understanding, though, because you do have 2 pointers, it can be very tricky, and so you're not going to see Artemis doing it.
Many runners in Galaxy just prefer to not use 2P.
Yeah.
But well, when it's used, it's very interesting to see. And as I said, since you have 2 pointers, you can it's easier to collect star bits.
Yes. And
so, what 2P does as a route, it includes a star that for 1P is lower, and that's Battle Rock's secret, and does that in place of a star that 1P does, and that's Freeze Flame free. So there will be a slight difference in routing, but for the majority of the run, we will see them do the same level. So yeah, you can, if you can see them in the same level, generally they will be very close. So no crazy route differences. Actually, I've just made a new route for this game, but yeah, I've spent like 10 hours in the last 2 days doing that.
Well, they're in the same level right now, actually. They're both in Gateway.
Well, of course, they just begun the run. It's not like the route can change Gateway. It's a pretty slow level.
Yeah, it's a slow level, but it's the intro. You can't skip... What's it called? You can't skip... I don't know what I'm... You can't skip Airstrip as much as people want to.
Yeah. You can't... And race file doesn't count as Airstrip skip, please. By the way, we mentioned a lot about Claire, actually, when we were talking about the runners, but we didn't mention anything about Artemis. And she's quite known in the community for her crazy strong early game, but her late game is what generally is missing in runs. That's so much is true as that she has some goals like that are the best times known in in the run. They are part of the community sum of best. And all the 3 golds she has in the community sum of best are in the first 8 stars.
So very strong there.
Yeah, very strong early game. As you can see, of course, she's ahead right now by a few seconds.
Yep. With just those improvements on Gateway. Fortunately, both gateways went pretty well. We mentioned with the bunnies can mess things up really early on. But again, fortunately, nothing that bad happened.
Yeah, I guess that, of course, Claire had to develop the consistency because you're not allowed retries in the 602, of course.
Yes.
And Artemis, through sheer force of resetting so many times to get the 230, probably she has achieved that consistency in Gateway.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm still missing.
So, yeah.
Hold on.
We're not in Gateway anymore. We have the Comet Observatory, kind of the hub of the game, and also the domes. I forgot. Is that it?
Yeah, it's a dome.
Yeah, it's
basically you can consider them the overworlds.
Yeah. Dome has several different galaxies. Each of them unlock with beating the boss of the previous dome, and you need certain star numbers to unlock certain galaxies. So obviously routing's going to be based around, hey, I need stars to get to the galaxies.
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated than the classic 64. I need the number of stars to pass the Bowser door and beat Bowser, because there's only 3 overworlds there. In this game, there's 6, and in any percent, you only unlock 5, because the 6 is very inconvenient to unlock, basically.
The 6th one unlocks at 60 stars, I believe, which is...
No, you can technically unlock it at 46, technically, but...
I forgot about the requirements for that boss.
No, it's basically the stars there are not very fast, and accessing it is very slow.
Okay. Yeah,
so it's not
I
considered
mixed up
worth
my information a little bit there.
We can see the first interesting use of 2P there, blocking the boulders to get more star bits.
Yes.
It's a very interesting tech. As you can see, the amount of star bits collected by Claire in this galaxy is way more than what Artemis got.
Yeah. Star bits are going to be pretty useful because, well, in a lot of games, you know, you have coins, which can be money. You don't really have that in that game. However, throughout the run, you're gonna want to get some star bits built up for some stuff you're going to be doing later, which we'll talk about that more when it's necessary.
All you need to do is that we're gonna be needing to unlock 2 galaxies with star bits, and the first requirement is 400 star bits to be achieved before star 22. So, as you can imagine, of course, all that is routed, of course, because let's say that in some levels it's more convenient to get star bits than in others. So generally, players, especially at high level, follow a pre-planned route. So actually, we've seen that for as light, for like 10 seconds, Claire was ahead, but then the fight got a bit awry. That fight can be a little bit tricky every now and then, but I think it's more nerves than anything else, because it's a start that's very early in the game, and especially if you have played the game a lot, you're gonna be going through the star a lot. So I understand the nerves. I've had them today when I had the run. Actually, ironically, Artemis was commentating the race I had versus Timba, and I'm commentating the race Artemis has had now. So kind of comes full circle, I guess.
Yeah. But now I'm going to be continuing through Good Egg. The next galaxy in this area we're going to want to go to. We need 1 more star for, so you saw that 3. A galaxy kind of has a purple thingy around it when it doesn't have enough stars. It'll change drastically in color when you do have enough stars for it.
Yeah, you'll see that.
Yeah. I do like orange.
So you'll see another dramatic difference is 2P Starbit collecting there.
Yes.
Not in the amount, but in the speed.
And speaking of dramatic things, there's one there. So, ground pounding is a staple in Mario games, but this game does something pretty cool with your spin. If you ground pound while spinning, you'll do a special kind of longer animation that leads into a homing type spin, and you can reach that launch star that they hit early by doing one off of that Luma and bouncing off of it. A lot of things like that, like the Lumas, NPCs is the word I'm trying to find, do have, you can kind of bounce off of them like that. However, that's usually the best way it's going to be used because you don't get the most height off of it.
Well, there's a strategy to be used in the lobby that can save 5 to 6 seconds if performed correctly, but it's very niche, let's say.
Yeah, I'm mostly talking about if you're going to bounce off of an NPC, you're most likely going to do it with some sort of spin pound.
Yeah, definitely, because you can gain a lot of momentum, of course.
Yeah, which obviously allowed us to get to that place out of order. And as I talked about with Starbits, Hungry Lumas. So, yeah, with the Hungry Lumas, you need a certain amount of Starbits to feed them. Eventually, usually in levels like this, you just need them to continue on with the level or maybe get on a secret path. Eventually, we're going to be seeing them in the hub world unlock whole galaxies.
Yeah,
So,
they will take a little bit more juice to unlock the galaxies, let's say. And so that's why we need that 400 as the first requirement.
yes.
This level kind of serves as the tutorial for collecting star bits and stuff. But
They're
ironically, you don't get to bring many star bits back to the upworld because you use them all to feed the Luma.
Yeah, you use 100 there to feed that Luma. And a bit of an intended mechanic, not being used much there. You see the little blue star shards? You saw the orange ones in the previous level to create a launch star. Those 5 would create a pole star, which you could use to get the star, but with some good jumps, you can just get it for free.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally just a long jump.
Yeah.
The developers were, I don't know, they maybe thought, well, they're not gonna long jump in this 3rd star, I don't know.
There's a hole in the middle. They don't want to risk that. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to be moving on to our next galaxy here with Artemis and Claire going to be entering Honey Hive.
Okay, run killer number 2. Honey Hive 1 skip. You'll see, I mean, 99% they're gonna do it, unless one of them chooses to not do that out of safety.
I honestly don't expect it from these two.
Exactly. It's a very big skip, saves about 40 seconds if performed correctly with the fastest setup. And it involves using a mechanic that's slope climbing to basically climb on the tree.
Yeah.
You'll see what Artemis is doing now.
You can play with some very nice of the 2-player movement that we mentioned earlier.
Artemis gets it first try.
Yeah, now just has to actually climb up this tree, which
is the easy part, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Claire also gets that first try.
Very nice. So yeah, this Captain Toad here gives you a star. I believe you're originally supposed to... It's been a while since I've seen this star done the normal way.
Well, originally you're supposed to go down a part of the level we'll see again, grab the bee mushroom, which is a power-up, get to another launch star, talk to the bee queen, get the final launch star and reach Toad, but that's slow. So
a lot of stuff happens in Honey Hive.
That's very slow. So the slope climb mechanic uses 2 mechanics in the engine of the game. The first one is that if you're in the air and you're moving backwards, as in you're holding back, for instance, and Luigi's facing forward, you're gonna be gaining more speed than if the opposite were true. So if you're moving forwards, you gain less speed than moving backwards. The second is that if you're sliding off a slope and you hold in the direction you're sliding, you can regain your jump. So what runners do is, when they touch the ground, hold the direction they're sliding in, jump, and then hold back. So this way, they can gain more distance back than they are actually losing sliding in front. And so that allows you to climb on the slopes.
Mm-hmm.
Another mechanic to climb slopes, if the slope is actually not too steep, is what we're looking at Artemis doing now, is just spinning, basically. Holding forwards and spinning. If the slope is not too steep, you can regain your spin earlier than you would lose all your momentum. Yeah,
which lets you keep it. It's great how much of this game breaks with its own mechanics.
Well, when they decided to put gravity swaps in, they knew it was going to happen.
Oh yeah, no, they knew this was going to happen. Like, I would have expected something like this to happen. I'm surprised there aren't as many skips in Mario Kart 8 as there are. Well, that's probably because Mario Kart checkpoints are a whole different story.
Well, they learned their lessons with Mario Kart Wii, I guess.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart Wii was very interesting. And very easy kill on these bugs here. You just gotta ground pound the top of them. Use that little symbol that's like a squiggly circle, I guess you could call it. That's basically the universal symbol in the Galaxy games for ground pound here and something will happen.
That's the most accurate depiction I've ever heard of that.
That's what it is. It's accurate because that's what it is.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of these, I guess.
Yeah. You see them on buttons. You see them
again, in this level, you were intended to climb on the actual hive in a different way, but since that way is there from the level before, why not do that? Of course.
Yeah.
Now the third fight is a boss fight. It's pretty linear. Just reach the boss and beat it. So we can talk a bit about the star bits, I guess, or any other argument. If you guys in the chat have any questions, we might answer that.
So, like, are there any levels, actually? Because, like we mentioned with Claire a bit earlier, who has done a lot of 120 stuff leading up to this, one thing I remember a lot watching 120 stuff is sometimes if you don't want... there's an extra cutscene after a level that talks about like how many star bits you've got. Sometimes you don't want to see that cutscene, so you just kind of throw all your star bits out. That's a mechanic. You can press the B button, and it'll shoot a star bit at where your pointer is pointed at. Is there any point where we purposely get rid of star bits to not have to deal with that cutscene in any %, or is that just a 120 thing?
No, in 120, actually, you do that less than in any %. In 120... if you get more than 5 star bits in a level, is generally considered worth it.
Oh, okay.
Because you need all the star bits you can.
Yeah.
You actually have to farm for star bits, so the less time you farm, the better. In any %, you actually don't want star bits sometimes. We will be seeing that in some levels, especially in the second part.
Yeah, I assume...
And the route is very precise with that. There's actually a lot of mechanics behind that, and I'm not going to go into depth right now because it will take like 10 minutes to explain all of that.
Yeah, I assume there is very precise routing. It's a Mario game. A lot of people have probably played it before.
Let's say I just made a new route. I got the frame data down to the actual frame for the route.
Nice.
And this rounds to 60 FPS. So you can get the level of detail we put into this.
That's very good. Good to see active stuff like that happening in a speed game. And
I should also mention
Oh, go ahead.
I should also mention that there's a route that's considered not consistent enough for RTA, but the task does. So that can also be a further way to improve the game. And I expect a 2P player to start that route, because one of the tightest requirements is star bits, and as we've seen, 2P has a lot of more star bits. So, motion controls!
Woohoo! Those were fun on the Wii. This came out in 2007? Yeah, 7. So,
Yes.
motion controls were still kind of in that hot and, geez, we love Wii Sports. So, of course, a lot of early Wii games try and capitalize on them. And I think a lot of people actually are like this level quite a bit. It's definitely an entertaining one. Pretty simple, too. We're going to be using this... I don't even know what animal this is. This manta ray, okay. I was going to say it could be like 3 things. We're going to be using this manta ray here and just kind of completing a race around this track. And this is just a lot of what you'd expect in a case like this. You see Artemis trying to stay a lot close to those corners to try and not have to go around them too much. Not a racing game speedrunner.
Yeah, if you've ever seen somebody play a level in Mario Kart as fast as possible, the basics is that. Just take the corners as sharp as you can without falling off, and be fast. Just all day in this case. So this is probably, well, the most infuriating motion control set is usually considered to be the ball.
The ball.
Because
the ball?
we will see that as star number 12, rolling green.
Yes. Yeah. I remember rolling green. I know the other one, just like the other one of these. We mentioned the Trial Galaxies earlier. The other galaxy that uses this mechanic is in the Trials, as well as the rolling ball.
Rolling Gizmo, oh god.
Gizmo.
Yeah, basically, the Trial Galaxies are considered to be... Okay, if you can do all of these without dying in a speedrun, you're a good 120 runner.
Yeah.
Because generally they're...
sunglasses, because you're cool now.
Exactly. Since you don't do them ever in any percent, if you do them very quickly and without dying, you're consistent at that. It's a sign that you run 120 a lot, or that you practice those stars for 120, because there's no other reason to practice them, of course.
Yeah.
Unless you want to brag for your time.
Yeah. And another little side box galaxy here. You'll notice some galaxies like have this kind of big, fancy star count, and some of them are just question mark boxes. Generally, the one with the question mark boxes are going to be like just one-offs that don't have much else to them. So Loop-de-Loop was one of them, and now this one's also going to be one of them.
Yeah, there's an exception to that rule, but we'll talk about it later. This star is one of the most technical stars in the dome.
Yes.
There's a lot going on, and cycles, precise jumps, and actually Artemis' execution was spot on.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was really, really good.
Yeah, a lot. As you mentioned, a lot of things move on cycles here, and not only that, but you have to be careful, because if you do re-hit one of these switches when you've already made them yellow, they will go back to blue. So you want to prevent that. But both of them make it through.
Artemis just pulled probably 10 seconds from Claire, or 5 to 10 seconds from Claire in a 35-second stage. So, including the intro. So you can see that it's a very technical stage when stuff like this happens.
Absolutely. And speaking of technical, we're going to get to fight a giant robot soon.
Yeah, the first
Artemis heading off to the first boss here.
Proper boss in the game, exactly. There's a skip there. It's a pretty simple, quote-unquote, triple jump.
Yep. There's a skip in this boss, and it's not even in the fight itself.
Exactly. It's you're supposed to break that dome that you can see, but why not triple jumping off and get caught in the planet's gravity field? Of course, the robot is huge, so the planet's gravity field is also huge to prevent the player from just falling off for no reason.
Yeah. And
we can see Claire, of course, using the 2P strat and gain additional height without having to triple jump.
Yeah, and you might notice the kind of free movement before this cutscene. Usually when you use the launch star, you get warped right into where this cutscene starts. However, when you do this skip, you don't land where the cutscene starts, so you have to go over there yourself. Really a small price.
Yeah, you have to enter
save.
the cutscene trigger.
Yeah, really a small price to pay for how much the triple jump itself saves.
15 seconds, I reckon. Around
Yeah,
that's a ballpark.
Yeah, so really it doesn't matter. Still gonna want to do the skip, and the fight itself is really easy. You just have to hit open that cage with the Grand Star in it with a bullet bill. And there you go. That's the fight for Artemis, and Claire is really close to the end.
Claire is sticking very close to Artemis, which, if you recall what I mentioned earlier, Artemis is known for her early game, and Claire is a good 120 runner.
Yeah.
So the longer we get into the run, the better it is for Claire if she can stick together.
Yeah, and Claire has definitely been doing a good job keeping things together in this early game.
Yeah, as you can see, for instance, Claire didn't get star bits in Magaleg, which is the name of the boss. Artemis, I think she got them, and that's because she needs them, or rather, well, technically I can mention that because I've routed that you don't really need them, technically. And if you can cut that out, it's a good thing because you can save 1.5 seconds. Well, the point is that you might want to do that as a backup to be sure you meet the starbit requirement, because if you get to when you need starbits and you don't have them, it's very, very bad. Like, really bad. That will be, of course, reset worthy in a normal run, but of course you can do that in a race. So you get the picture, I guess. Third rank killer. There's a lot of rank killers in this run.
Yep. Falling off there.
Falling off is not a rank killer.
It is a small waste of time for Artemis, though.
Yeah, it is.
And jumping up here. You don't need to use that warp thingy to get over here.
Yeah, actually, technically the fastest way to do that is a backflip spin, if I'm not mistaken. But the triple jump is just way more consistent and easier.
Absolutely.
You can initiate that. It's just the way most people are used to, so... There's some small optimizations you can do in this game. The game is not really yet as optimized as Sunshine could be, or 64. There's still a bit of leeway here and there to the optimizations.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to every now and to see that you have still just a bit of room to improve, and you're not locked to improve a strat. It's just a very minor time saving. You have to risk a lot.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this game in movement is a bit looser than its other 3D counterparts. Yep. Claire getting a skip here, and Artemis just now getting it. You can kind of abuse gravity fields, surprise, surprise, and skip a good 20-30 second portion of Space Junk 1 here.
I think that the time save is 20-something seconds. Not really sure on the precise amount. They both add some, let's say, difficulties. Not Artemis a bit with the skip. Claire just after. She got maybe a bit tilted.
Maybe.
Yeah, but Artemis is managing to catch up a bit. Thanks to that small moment.
On the Silver Star collection.
Very nice bit of movement for Artemis. Getting getting the long jump to the red platform is not easy.
Yeah, that was really nice looking. Still gonna be Claire that collects the star first and ends the level ahead. But we have much to go. Many time for this race to change course.
It's still 2 hours long, so we're in for a good ride. And this galaxy is sometimes called Reset Junk. You can guess why after having seen the skip. If you don't get into the gravity field, you can get your setup messed up. And then, of course, the second try might not be... If you don't know how to second try properly for the setup that you are using, because it's very personal, it's going to be very complicated. Now, Space Junk 2 is a bit more lenient. It's not considered a hard star. It contains the first small bit of RNG in the game, however.
Fun. Well, you do have a sorcerer on your hands, so of course it would be a little bit random. You never know what to expect when Magic's in play.
Yeah, this game is very, very RNG, let's say, independent. There's not much RNG in this game at all.
RNG light, I think is a good way to say it.
Yeah, the only boss that has some RNG is 30 seconds at worst of RNG, and is not in any percent because it's long. So
yeah. So we need
if you don't like RNG, this is a good game.
Yeah.
On the bad side, you can't blame RNG.
Yeah. Well, oh, and Artemis missing that triple jump, so that's not going to be good for this upcoming fight here.
That's costlier than it looks.
Yes. So, as you see there, Claire getting an early hit. This is a boss that will either summon a fireball or a Koopa shell, and you need it to summon a Koopa shell so that you can throw it back at the boss. And so the ability to bring in a Koopa shell immediately is great. Oh no!
Ouch! That's not gonna be pretty. And I forgot that the respawn point is before the fight. This is very costly. This is easily a minute lost.
Yeah, this is
in between the missing the triple jump and this. Claire now has a significant lead.
This is not very good for Artemis right now. Fortunately, Claire did have a good fight, so at least one of our runners was able to do that pretty successfully.
Yeah, I should mention what RNG is. The RNG is, you'll see Artemis now, Camella, that's the name. She can go on the right or on the left. If she goes on the left, she's gonna stop immediately after moving. If she goes on the right, she's then gonna go to the left. And that costs 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Second part of RNG is that she can choose to throw at you 1 fireball or 2 fireball for each Koopa shell. And 2 fireballs is very rare, but it can happen. And that loses 5 seconds. For each time you get it.
Yeah. And despite the fire going out as Artemis defeats Camella, Claire still gotta stop, drop, and roll on a ball, which is a terrible thing to roll on in this game. So
yeah,
we have
it's definitely the worst motion control ammo.
Yes.
Attempting to do right side skip.
Oh, no.
That was too much on the right. That was too right for right side.
Yeah.
That was a bad pun. You can.
Yeah, no. Not in the right mind. So that's a little skip. God. You see that little funnel over there? You can go in the funnel and go on the rail, or you can jump off the side and land on the rail, and you'll look really cool. And I always get scared when people try it.
You look really cool, save for seconds, but if you die, you lose 10. Yeah. There's also a strat called left side that's currently IL only because it's very, very hard to pull off.
Worse. Please just don't.
What do you mean? Please just don't do Artemis trying right side?
I mean, you can try right side. I mean, you can try right side, but if you want my heart to not murder me, it always is one of those. It's one of those scary strats, you know. Maybe it's more consistent than it looks, but I just always get terrified watching it. Artemis got it, though.
It is really consistent to top level runners.
Yes, and Danny does point out that the Goomba positions for Claire, not very good. And if you run into a Goomba,
the Goomba positions are RNG, but at worst you lose like 2 seconds if the Goomba is on your way. So
yeah, well maybe it was like in the way of the railing. I'm not sure because if you run into a Goomba, you're going.
Oh, you mean before the? Well, technically you can adjust how much you go on the right. And you can adjust that depending on when you press A, because maybe if you press A early, you want to go more on the right. But basically, it's a skip that's very feel based, And it's something that I personally would not do because to me it's not really worth it.
Yeah.
Unless I'm 95% consistent with it.
It's a personal thing, really. Going into Battle Rock with another blue shard skip. There you go with the triple jumps.
Yeah, collecting the blue shards is low, animation, spawning the pool stars, just triple jump, it's better.
Just use gravity to your advantage.
Exactly.
I do that every day. That's how I don't fly off.
What do you mean? You have a slide in place of stairs in your house?
Yes. I don't even have stairs in my house. That's the metagame of it.
You have an elevator and slide.
No, I have a one-story house. It's not that complicated.
Feels good, man. Feels good, man. That's gravity skip achieved, dude. You skipped stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that.
So, what you're seeing right now is Claire being at 1 health here. You don't want to be at 1 health because there's a lot of stuff that can zap you.
Yes.
A lot of people like to mess with this section because it's an auto-scroller.
Mm-hmm. I've had my
if you go to 1 health, you don't mess with that.
Yeah, no. I've had my fair share of losing runs to wanting to be too silly in auto-scrollers. Okay, Claire.
No, that's a strat.
I know, but it scared me. Yeah, can get over here a little bit faster, but when you're running right next to the electricity balls at 1 HP, I get scared.
That's some confidence there.
It is definitely some confidence exuded from Claire.
So we've not talked about the triple jump there. It is possible because of a mechanic in the game called tilt. You just for this tilt explained simply is just if you're running on a slope that has a positive incline, i.e. The slope is going down basically. You can get a height boost with a jump. And so, since the saucer counts as that, you have a straight part and then goes down, you can get a small bit of height boost, which is essential with 1P to grab the launch star. But with 2P, you can just 2P jump and, hey, easier. So we're seeing Claire do that backflip thing that I mentioned
after
before.
missing the triple jump.
Yeah, it's the easiest option after that.
You get pulled back to the main part of the observatory here, just to gain the knowledge that this Luma is purple.
No, and that comets exist.
Oh yeah, comets exist. It's mainly purple though. I mean, come on.
Well, of course.
I mean, purple, baby.
I mean, you don't really need comets to any percent the game, technically. Of course, they're faster, but you of course need the knowledge that Luma is purple.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use
mandatory.
We're gonna use that later. Bowser's gonna give us a quiz show, and he's gonna be like, "What color was that one Luma?" You better say purple. That doesn't actually happen, by the way.
So wait a second. Rosalina informs us that the Luma is purple. What color is Waluigi's suit? Purple. Waluigi confirmed for Smash Ultimate.
Waluigi confirmed for Super Mario Galaxy 3.
Okay, so now we'll be looking at Claire. She's gonna do... she's gonna unlock the Angry Luma here, because she's gonna be using this later. And Artemis is not gonna do that. And that's because of the routing difference that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So she's Claire's unlocking the secret star here. She's not gonna do that yet, because basically once you unlock that, it's always available. So you want to enter the level again, skip the cutscenes, and after that, enter the Luma. Basically, enter the launch star created by the Luma to reach the secret planet. So Artemis now looks closer than she actually is to Claire.
Yeah. It makes the race look cooler. It's for cosmetic. Yeah. Random fun fact of the day. I've never gotten 120 stars in that game. My highest is 118. That secret is one of the 2 stars why. Actually.
And let me guess, the other one is Dreadnought.
Dreadnought secret, you got it.
I should mention a video. Just search on YouTube Yoshi Fan Research, and he can explain to you how to do everything in those 2 stars.
Yeah, don't worry.
Very fast.
Don't worry, my disc's been broken for many, many years. I was in 1st grade, in like 2nd grade when I first played this game. So I was not a very intelligent child, and now I'm not a very intelligent teenager, so it works out.
Well, to be honest, the Dreadnought Secret is considered casually a difficult star.
Yes.
Bedrock Secret, not really, no. Artemis, what are you doing? She took way too much to bring the bomb
Artemis
there.
is using this
I
bomb
was worried there.
in this cannon, missing the star with the cannon.
No! What? Oh god, I feel for her because I had the run, I had the race earlier today in the tournament, and I made a couple silly mistakes like that, and I know that. So I can speak from personal experience. That feels so bad. I didn't do that particular mistake, but making that kind of mistake is very disheartening, especially if you're like, how could I do that?
Yeah. And I kind of what I was thinking when I saw Artemis first get in the cannon compared to when Claire first got into it. If you change, you can those platforms move on some cycles. They move around, and apparently Artemis just wanted to get a better one for that.
Yeah, that is also true. Then again, the point is that you can do that after you throw the bomb. You can throw the bomb and then look at that. So that's why I was perplexed.
Artemis is fancy.
She can do that.
All right, and Claire.
First try. Space
when we got obsessed with Illuma being purple, you mentioned, and I got obsessed with the color purple, the fact that comets exist. So comets are kind of variations on levels that you can unlock. Or not unlock, but they just kind of appear. And
yeah, they appear on very precise cycles. Yes. Of course, we have that map.
And you get a new star for doing that variation of the same level. And some of them are
speed, space, run.
Yeah, I was gonna say
speed,
Nintendo. And you mentioned that there's a space, and it's no longer my favorite. Yeah, so there are several different types of comets. This one is obviously good because it's literally just doing a level with a timer. And if the level's fast, you get to go fast again.
Space Junk Comet. Artemis is doing Battle Rock 3 now. Actually, Artemis is gonna do Space Junk Comet later on for routing reasons. And Claire is gonna do Battle Rock 3 in that same moment. That, however, means, since Space Junk Comet is lower, that Artemis will look a bit more behind than she is, also factoring in the fact that Claire already fed the Luma for Battle Rock Secret. So, yeah, it's... The routing difference between 1P and 2P is not that much, but it's good to keep that in mind. As now Claire is adding to the first Bowser battle in the game. Actually, it might come to me that now that we might want to switch audio to Claire because this song is cool. It's if you ever played 64, you're gonna get flashbacks to it.
So I think Claire's technically ahead now with some of the mistakes that Artemis has made.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Yep. So, death.
That's an intentional death warp.
We want that. Oh, wow, look at that. So, yeah. Cool stuff happens with the way the stage works, and if you die there, you can hit a checkpoint for a later part of the stage faster than you can get there without dying. That death was, I think, a bit less intentional.
Yeah, she got firebarred.
Yeah.
Denied.
Silly with the gravity in this game.
That point is very weird. After the F warp, the cycle is good, but you need to be very fast in getting over the Thwomp before it kills you, basically. I should mention, a Thwomp and getting squashed in this game is insta-death. So, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Whoa. Claire landed on the very edge of the platform. That was close.
And now Claire's being very threatened. That was very scary. It was not that scary.
You mean the long jump?
I'm talking about getting chased by fireballs.
Yeah, it's not really that scary. Bowser is a good boy.
Bowser's a very good character. Bowser just wants to be your friend and also murder you. But we don't have to worry about that, because we can murder him back. That's the way it works. So Bowser fights. He has a few attacks. The main one you want to watch out for is that little attack where he goes up in the air and then stomps down, because he can stomp on some open lava. Well, some not open lava. He can stomp it open and then stomp it. Artemis is taking a death in the same place Claire took a death earlier, so probably negating some of the time loss that Claire would have had over Artemis.
Yeah, she got... That's what I meant with, you have to be very quick before the bomb kills you. Also, as you can see now, Claire is actually jumping in Bowser's face and spinning. What that does is it cancels the animation from Bowser's attack, and Bowser will proceed to the next attack, which is, of course, the stomping the ground.
Yeah, the one I mentioned, the one you wanted to use.
Yeah, Bowser is not very smart. I should mention that.
No. He tries his hardest, though, and I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, Bowser...
Artemis getting into the cutscene.
He's a tryhard. So, advantage Claire going into kitchen. Of course, we should mention that the domes have names. The first one we visited, it was the terrace. We're gonna be returning. We're gonna be returning there 3 times.
Yeah, this one was the fountain. I wanted to mention that, but we talked a lot about Space Junk 1 and this game, so I never got to say that until something else happened.
Space Junk 1 is a very important star. You do that twice. There's a skip, you have to do that twice. Each retry for the skip fails. For the skip, loses 15 seconds if you're not careful. So it's a very important star. So I think you can... I think we can just be forgiven for forgetting to mention
I think we can justify that.
Yeah.
We were also talking about just game movement in general. There's a lot to talk about in this game. That's one thing. Like, I know I personally, before watching a lot of runs of this game, I always thought to myself, with all the stuff that happens, with how long it takes, and also some of the more loose movement, I never expected as much of it. But this is actually like a really interesting game that I'd say can probably be like, can go up there with other 3D Marios. It's just unfortunately, I think
it's this long.
I think the biggest problem with it that doesn't really let people appreciate it as much as some of the others is, as I mentioned when we were talking about movement, this is probably like the loosest movement 3D Mario has had. Because like the other games are all pretty tight in their movement, but this one is like really free-flowing.
That is not... Well, when we talk about that in the community, generally the consensus is that the problem in the game is that there's a lot of downtime.
That too.
And that is cool if you're streaming and you're chilling with the chat. You can have a world record pace and be chill with the chat in this game.
That's awesome.
Try doing that in 64. That's not gonna happen. Try doing that in Celeste. That's not gonna happen. But of course, if you like fast-paced action, running the game can feel a bit. I'm not doing anything for 20 seconds every time I get a star. Well, not really not doing anything, but I'm not playing the character in a level. And
we just saw some insane playing the character. Claire did quite a few jumps there and basically skipped everything in this level.
Yeah, this split is called fake news by some runners because sunken treasure, not even entering the water.
Yeah.
Basically, in this level, you should need to enter the water, get all the star chips, get a launch star to carry you up there, but there's a conveniently placed palm tree that you can use to skip all of that.
Yeah. Fun game.
And it actually requires a pretty complex triple jump at the very end, especially if you're running with Mario, because never mentioned that, but Mario, if you're running with Mario, has less jump height than Luigi, as it's the case in many Mario games where Luigi is present. So
yes,
Luigi actually is a bit of an easier time to get the skip. There's also a strategy that's called waterfall strategy that allows you to basically walk on the side of that platform to where the waterfall begins to get a bit of to require less height. Then again, Claire has 2p, so 2p jump.
Woo. So now in this level, you have to mug a penguin, and then
you have the Australian penguin instructor guy that, you get the picture.
Guy tells you to mug a penguin, you do it, gives you a star. Really easy. Just gotta jump in the water and steal it from that other penguin.
Fun fact, the shell doesn't spawn until you talk to the big penguin.
Well, it's a good thing you talk to him.
I never knew that, and until I tested, because I figured that the cycles are better if you can skip the cutscenes in that star.
Yeah.
But then I figured there's no way to do the other star you do in place because, hey, the shell doesn't spawn and you have to talk to the penguin, get down here, grab it. It's very long. The penguin there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit annoying. That penguin is going to be a bit annoying. I actually like the old penguin more, to be honest.
Yeah. But now we have a level that is kind of a bit different. You're gonna see after 2 levels just kind of really around this beach area, you're gonna see a not quite so beach area.
Yeah, it's a secret area of the level, so it can be guessed.
It's secret to everyone.
It's a secret to everybody. And off we go.
Yep.
Very hot to very cold. This is the first introduction to the best power-up in the game. Hands down.
I'm not inclined to disagree with that statement. Ice Flower is pretty cool. So,
as you can see, it allows you to do some stuff. Ice the water you're walking on, and you can then skate on said water. Oh, Claire trying the fast strats here. Or rather, should I say, the 2p strats.
I mean, does have 2p at her disposal, so
of course.
Going to hopefully use those as much as possible because those are just fast.
Yeah. Also, ice skating is mainly just, I think we can say, unanimously considered by the community the best mechanic in the game because it makes the movement. It removes a bit of that floatiness from the movement and turns into very, very, very fast-paced. So it's cool. It's cool to have that kind of movement for 5 or 6 stars. You do that.
Yeah, and now coming up, we're going to have a pretty interesting level as well.
Another rank killer.
Yeah, and the level I was talking about before I remembered that secret is done before this level in the route. So...
You saved that very well. Nobody noticed. Until you mentioned that, of course.
Yeah. You know. But hey, I didn't cut the level out of the run, so...
Yeah. That's fair.
Just kidding. Seaside 3 is now out of the run because I said so. We're not gonna actually...
Seaside 3 is out of the run. We're in Beach Bowl.
Yeah. It's a pretty quick level.
Yeah, Seaside is, I don't know. But, well, Beach Bowl as a skip here.
And there it is.
That long jump is not as easy, especially the spin timing. You can see on the right side, meanwhile, Artemis doing the 1p version of that strategy. Because using the Cataquack Cataquacks are bad.
Don't do that.
Ah, come on.
Yeah.
That strat is not easy, but, I mean, I can do that. And I have a 239. Artemis is a 230 as a PB, so I guess she can probably do that.
Yeah. I trust that. I love seeing Claire wiggle the pointers around with 2.
Yeah, I tried to get my hands around 2P. What I found is that I like the most a setup, or rather, more than I like the most. Sometimes I like to have the Wiimote, the second Wiimote in my left hand. Sometimes I would love to have them in the same hand. So I don't know. I don't know yet if I'll play 2P. But I definitely consider the thing, and that's weird. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, all my 1-player 2 controller experience comes from Kirby's Epic Yarn, where I don't have to use a nunchuck. So 2P's a bit easier there. But I can imagine the struggles of 2 controllers plus a nunchuck. That just sounds kind of hard.
In the meantime, something a bit more technical. Artemis just got not a spin bonk per se, but basically in this game, if you spin near to a wall, your spin is gonna be cut very soon, and you're gonna lose a lot of height from the spin, and you're gonna be knocked back. That is colloquially referred to as spin bonk. That sometimes can save your life. But most of the times, she generally just kills you, just throws you into the abyss. So, just in some places instead, there's if you long jump from a place, if you long jump basically into a wall and you're slightly under the height required, you can bonk into the wall and be slightly upward into the platform you were trying to reach, and that's what happened with Artemis.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Who needs bonking into a wall when we just saw Claire go through one?
Technically, there's no wall there. There's only the texture.
That's... It looks like a wall. It's a spooky mansion. How do you know? Maybe they could all be fake walls.
No, we tried that. Trust me.
Dang. Well, you can go through that one because there's not a wall there. There's just a texture.
Yeah, the developers thought, nah, they will not reach there. Of course we did.
People decided to reach there.
I mean, that saves 10 to 15 seconds, I reckon. So,
awesome.
Artemis showing her knowledge of 1P with a slightly more optimal movement in using the Rainbow Star. Fortunately, Claire's consistency has been spot on. I cannot mention a mistake that was worth more than 10 seconds she made up until now. This is a very good run from her.
Yeah, this is a very good run from Claire. We've seen people talking about that in chat. Claire's been on a great run right now, and Artemis is doing a really good job as well. A bit more major screw-ups has thrown Artemis behind, however, still doing a great job.
Yeah, Artemis is being kept in. Oh, that was a bonk. Not a that was a bonk. A big one at it. But yeah, Artemis is keeping into the race, partially to the fact that she simply has better movement. You can see that every now and then. Some minor optimizations, and of course, she ran the category for way more time. Yeah,
and Claire heading to the first of the Hungry Luma galaxies. I mentioned there are entire galaxies that can be unlocked by these things. This is a really short one.
This is Long Jump Central.
Yes. Yeah. Give us your best
if you thought the long jump sound for 64, the Yahoo glitch basically for LBLJ was bad, try this.
Come on, give us your best long jump sound.
I'm not gonna do that.
You don't have to.
I mean, Mario at least is the classical Yahoo. Luigi makes like... Yeah, but also should mention Artemis with 420 star bits. That's... I propose a poll in the chat. If Artemis gets also 69 star bits in the final Bowser, we can remove 10 seconds from her final time.
No.
Are you sure about that? I'll
Yes.
I'll be just, of course I'll vote yes.
God damn it. Well, alright, well, Artemis is going to that galaxy now. We have Claire on her second visit to the terrace.
Yeah, it's a very quick visit. We grabbed only 2 stars. The first one is the hardest star in the game, and the second is a comet.
Yes.
Watch it.
First
Legendary
try.
movement.
So yeah, you're supposed to use a pipe to get up on that house, but height is overrated. As we've mentioned many times.
I mean, Nintendo inserts moves in the game and then underestimates their power oftentimes, and that's what happens.
Yep.
What else to say? Oh, we were talking about Starbits and the unlockable Angreluma Galaxy.
Yep.
This galaxy is worth 400 Starbits. We're gonna be unlocking an additional galaxy at the very end of the run. That's worth 600. So in any percent, the total number of Starbits is 1,000 that you have to collect. At least with the current routing.
Chat, just talking about all the meme numbers you can get Starbits with.
Yeah, it's 420. You can get 690 before the last one, and then 69 in Final Bowser because the number doesn't count. You can
I mean, we could go for 666 by
also or 404 before instead of 420. Trust me, I kind of know all the meme numbers.
Yeah, I trust you on that. Yeah. And then you have these comets. Another type of comet we're seeing here, where you have to race a cosmic... I guess cosmic's a good word.
Yeah, it's called Cosmic Luigi.
I forgot.
Technically, it's just Shadow Mario and Shadow Luigi making a return from Sunshine. It's like a little nod, let's say, to Sunshine. But they're called Cosmic Mario and Cosmic Luigi.
Yes.
And we saw Claire just skip off of the race.
Yeah.
That tech is surprisingly hard. There's an easy version for that. I mean, if you spin too early, you die. There.
Yeah. Claire got the star, which is pretty neat. Because getting stars is what you want to do in this game. And so, gonna be going back to the kitchen now.
One day we will find a skip, and any percent will be that skip. I don't know. I mean, that is not that impossible. If you find a way to inject code in the... Or actually to activate something in the disk. To activate the... Activate basically the final cutscene and the final level. It's not that impossible. I mean, we thought it was impossible in 64, Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros, and then we did that in all those games. So, yeah,
we did.
It might be possible one day, but that will just kill any percent. We'll just call that 61 stars, I guess.
Yeah. And so, while we have Artemis going over that cosmic comet, we have our third type of comet that we're being introduced to is going to be the Fast-Foes comet, which is probably the weirdest comet type. It just makes the enemies fast in a certain part of a level.
This galaxy, casually, is a pain.
Yes.
I know that much. You actually want... The cycles are actually better in the Fast-Foes comet. So speedrunners like this one more than the normal version.
Yes.
Casually, this is hell.
Yeah. And Claire... doing a very good job getting all the jumps here needed to do this cyclone as fast as possible. So, very good job.
Yeah, Claire is just being very, very consistent. I don't know what her pace is right now. I would reckon she's on 235 pace. I don't know what kind of strats she does late, but that's actually being very good. This is a good run. Now, to the third and final motion control. This is, Bubble Breeze.
Oh, no.
It's not that bad.
Bubble Breeze. Yeah, so...
It's not that bad.
This one, yeah, this one's pretty good because, for the most part, motion controls are pretty good. And this one's really just pointer stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been pointing stuff at the screen for most of the time.
Yeah.
So...
Your cursor becomes a wind blower, and it can blow this bubble around.
Yeah, there's not much to say. We need to gather 5 starships to unlock the launch star and then launch to the next area. That was close.
Now, if you want a real nightmare, you get the trial version of this galaxy.
Yeah, that was bad. And
this one we can skip there. Part of. Very nicely done.
Actually, in the trial one, when I did the first 120 run, I actually said, okay guys, don't worry, I practiced this, I was going very fast, and it was going very well. Then I died in a very stupid way. And that ended up on YouTube, of course. So, yeah, it's not that great. And remember what I mentioned before about if you do all those 3 trial galaxies, you're a good 120 runner? Well, I'm not a good 120 runner. I did 1 run. Like, only 1. I'm not joking.
I don't know the last time I played this game.
Well, you can always play that again.
I can always play it again. I'd like to play this game again. This is a very good game. The trees of smiley faces, that's how you know it's a good game.
So, Claire is going to do probably the most impressive star in the game if you're watching this game and you don't know about it. If she's gonna do keyless, of course. I know for a fact Artemis is gonna do that.
Oh, I'm excited for that. Very nice. And this is crazy because these platforms are supposed to move. Or stuff is supposed to move. But collision exists.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oof.
Very good. Claire.
Oof. Okay. So I can explain a bit of the mechanics behind that.
Yes, please.
Technically, you can grab a question mark coin, and the visible area will start to rise. Now, there's a plane in the, and that's exactly the plane where the doors are. Which will always is a physical plane. So objects beyond that plane physically exist at any time. This includes the doors. And then there's all the things that are in front of that plane. When basically the matter splatter area rises, so you'll see the just contoured area starts to rise. You'll see some platforms appearing, and they will become physical. But the doors behind, and there's basically the part over the doors, is already there. So what the runner does is just wall jump off of that and standing on the top of the doors. Claire did the actual riskier version, which is keyless. Artemis is going to do keyless as well. Technically, there's a less risky version that's called 1 key. That involves grabbing the first key.
Oh no, hitting a death plane.
Exactly. Right beyond the doors, there's a death plane. So that physical plane where things exist, even though they're not visible, is very, very thin. And you're walking on very thin ice there.
Yep.
So Kila's causing some problems to Artemis too. It's a very difficult strat.
Getting it down. Up there now, as Claire enters this fight with Bowser Jr.
I mean, I personally would do 1 key in a race setting, mainly because doing that only loses 5 seconds, I reckon. And if you grab the first key and start the movement, if you fail keyless, you're gonna have those platforms appearing, so you can basically retry from a higher point until basically you don't do any harder strats, but you don't lose all your progress, of course. So that is generally a more safe alternative, but the runners just don't care apparently and just go for the hardest strat. Well, more enjoyment for us, of course.
Yep. And Claire's at the end of that fight now. Kind of similar to Camilla. You just kind of gotta get the shell, throw it at the ship. Much bigger target this time. And shells come out from the sides instead of from Bowser Jr. So kind of easier than that fight. And less based in luck.
If you're a beginner, it's easy to lose time to that fight. Like, very easy.
I'm just talking in terms of beating the boss.
Yeah, it's also the shell's auto-aim mechanic can be a bit tricky every now and then. But yeah, generally you're not going to be losing 20 seconds in this fight. Unless you screw up very, very badly.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose the occasional 5 seconds. There's a strategy you can do in that fight, and that's basically grabbing a shell, grabbing the 4th shell before the cutscene where Bowser Jr. turns his ship.
Yep. Claire just got a letter.
Another hard star in the game, I guess. Letters are very hard stars, dude. I mean,
they're not even stars, they're pieces of paper.
Yeah, but the letters unlock very hard stars, as you've seen with that. So, Artemis is walking on thin ice there.
Yep, there we go. Gets a coin.
Got the safety coin. Safe play there.
Yep. Looks like gonna finish the fight without taking another hit, regardless, so...
Yeah.
Good job,
You don't want
Artemis.
to die in this fight, because you get to respawn before the moving platform, where you have to hit the lever and get back, so it's a very huge time loss.
Yes. And Claire heading back to Battle Rock here. Never did Battle Rock. Yeah. Has a few
Artemis did that earlier, of course.
Never did Battle Rock 3, which Artemis did earlier. Also, still unlocked the secret and has not done the secret.
Yeah, she's gonna do that after this star, I reckon.
So yeah, so Claire just gonna be revisiting.
No, she's gonna do her Scurry, then Battle Rock Secret, because she doesn't have to do Space Jam Comet.
Yeah, she's already done Space Jam Comet way earlier. And Artemis...
Which is an advantage to most runners, because Battle Rock 3 isn't really something that has a lot of skips.
Yeah.
While Space Jam Comet has a skip that can lose 15 seconds. So it's useful to have it early, because you can reset it early into the run, and not that late.
However much you want to reset in this game.
Well, if you can call resetting early 1 hour into the run.
I mean, with an hour or with an over like 2.5 hour run with a lot of people that are like the highest of levels, I would consider that early enough to not be the worst thing. The longest game I run, my current PB is like a 2:46, and I often have like problems drawing the line at which point I should consider early enough to reset.
It really depends on your level, technically.
Yep.
I mean, for this game, I'd recommend to anybody who has a PB that's worse than 255, 250. Just unless unless PB is impossible, don't reset.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we have our next comet type here coming up for Artemis. Claire actually is not going to be doing this one yet because it has to beat this boss first to get the comet for it. So Artemis now has the Daredevil Comet, which gives you 1 HP to do whatever the game wants you to do. In which case, it's going to be the easiest boss in the game.
Yes, not so easy when you have 1 HP, or rather, it's still a pretty easy fight.
Do you see this fight?
If you try to go fast,
I guess,
and miss, you can die there. I died there in the race today.
I feel bad for you.
Because admittedly because I was an idiot, but I died there today. So, yeah.
Yep, and then you mentioned we're going to Hurry Scurry now, which is our other kind of mystery box galaxy.
Yeah, we
Artemis
already
gonna be
encountered
joining.
we already encountered many others, as in Bubble Breeze, and Rolling Green were also mystery boxes.
Yes.
The thing with mystery boxes is that you don't really know how many stars you need to unlock until you unlock them.
Yeah.
So of course that is routed again.
Yeah.
But yeah, they usually have 1 star. There's an exception, that's Bui-based Galaxy, that has 2, because that's a secret star in that.
Yeah. That's a kind of unique case of a green star, I believe.
Yeah, it's a green star.
And the green star thing is very complicated. It involves the trials, which, as we mentioned many times, not doing those.
Yeah. And the only thing important to routing is that when you get the first green star, you're gonna get back to the observatory in front of Rosalina, because she has to explain to you what the green stars are. So we actually use that to our advantage, because when we're done with Fountain, what happens is we take the green star and get back to Rosalina. That is also true. That is also true of Angry Lumas. And again, we'll use that at our advantage much later in the run. You'll see that.
Yes.
So
he's not just
now,
getting stars, you have to plan out everything.
Now, they're quite even. Like, they're quite even. But Claire is gonna... Well, Claire looks like she's a bit behind right now. But Artemis is going to do Vision Comet. She's going to do the Daredevil Comet. And then she's got to do Battlebrook's Secret, I believe. Actually, she swapped the star order around, which you can do, of course. You can do as long as you keep the comets in their places, which makes sense. So yeah, I think Claire is still ahead.
I think so. Again, with the swapping routes, it's not the easiest thing in the world to tell.
I think that she's still ahead, because after this she's got Battlebrook's Secret. And
yeah, also that boss is very fast.
That's very fast, exactly. That's the point. And she's gonna be 1 star. She's gonna have 1 more star than Artemis when leaving Fountain, because she's not gonna do a star in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's the star that Artemis is not doing, is going to be Battle Rock Secret, which we've talked about. And then we'll talk about the star that Artemis is going to be doing.
That's Freeze Flame Free. And that has some ice skating mechanics, so it's sad to see that go for 2P.
But hey,
I'm a fan of Battle Rock Secret, though. It's a cool star.
It is a star.
So, Laura, you can watch and learn, I guess.
I can. For this game that I've had a broken disc for well over 5 years.
Well, you can always get the VC version.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea why they made, since the Wii U has Wii reading capabilities. Then again.
Some games they have on this eShop, and they literally send you to the Wii, like the Wii menu, to play. The Wii U is a weird system.
You know what's the fun part? The Wii U can't read GameCube discs, if I remember correctly. And even if it did, if you buy a Wii U, you're more likely to have a Galaxy disc than a Sunshine disc. Why didn't they port Sunshine?
They didn't port GameCube because they hate everything.
I mean, okay, they're reminded of the fact that they got basically whooped by Sony with PlayStation 2, but
I like the GameCube.
The GameCube is a good console, and
I think
Sunshine
the
is a good
GameCube
game.
is pretty neat. It has great video games like
Sunshine
and Luigi's Mansion.
And yeah, Luigi's Mansion.
Speaking of Luigi, guess who we're playing as
was
right
good.
now?
Double Dash was good. So you can see that now, Claire returning to the observatory, she's gonna do the star that Artemis is doing right now. But the key part is that she has 32 stars, and Artemis has only 31. So she's ahead. Also, Freeze Flame Free is the longest star. If you count the fact that it's the star being removed in place of Battle Rock's secret, it means that it's probably the longest star you could remove, of course. So you can imagine it's not the shortest star in the game.
So,
Double Dash was brilliant, I agree. In the chat.
Yes, I do too.
How many percent is any percent? Yes. I guess yes is a percent.
I guess.
But yeah, if the question was number of stars, it's 61 stars out of 120.
And remember when we got that letter earlier? It let us get this star. Before we went to the Sweets Galaxy, the name of it is leaving my mind. But before you went there, you might remember after unlocking the Luma, we talked to Luigi. Basically, Luigi will.
Let's forget for a second the fact that we talked to Luigi as Luigi. Don't mind that. Don't mind that.
Basically, what they do is they will send you letters saying "Help me," and a location from a galaxy. And if you go to that location, they'll give you a star.
Yeah, and they're generally very fast. Battle Rock Luigi is the exception. Battle Rock Ladder, you can call it however you want. I prefer Battle Rock Luigi. Yeah, that is the only longish star you save Luigi. You've seen the first one. It's very short. You'll see the third one. It's very short as well, so
yes,
it's worth going for it. And as you've seen right now, Green Star being brought back in front of Rosalina.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Also, we might want to switch audio to Artemis because she's ahead right now. I mean, not ahead in the race, but she's ahead in the game, let's say.
How many stars does Artemis have?
No, Artemis is behind, technically. I mean, she is behind in the race.
I think we're going to say with Claire's audio.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
We're going to get Gusty Galaxy music. Don't worry.
Okay. It was not actually not for that. It was just because... Yeah, I forget. But if the audio is commonly used as a cue as to who is winning, we should stick with Claire. I'm positive she's ahead right now.
Which is what we should be doing. So
okay,
we're good on that. So yeah, Gusty Garden Galaxy is actually important not only for the music, but it is because it's the first galaxy that we're going to be doing in the 4th dome, which is the bedroom. So got a whole new set of levels to play with here. And
yeah, unfortunately, one of those levels is Dusty Dune.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. We don't have to do purples.
No, but even if you don't, Dusty Dune is long, like very long.
Very long. It's just like a real desert. I've never been to a real desert.
Like, I should mention some trivia there about Dusty Dune. It is so long that I was playing bingo once, and my opponent was a man going for the world record, and his PB is 30 minutes better than mine. Okay, we were playing bingo for fun, and we were playing anti-bingo. So the other player chooses the row for. Basically, you get a row chosen for. You know Seas Light Purples, right?
Oh no.
Okay, he gave me a row with that. I gave him a row with Dusty Dune, 3 stars. 3 stars in Dusty Dune. I still won with Seas Light Purples. It is that bad.
Welcome to the bedroom, everybody. We got great stars.
As you can imagine, after this little trivia fact, there's 3 big galaxies in bedroom. Gusty Garden, Freeze Flame, and Dusty Dune. We do 5 stars in each of Gusty Garden and Freeze Flame, and completely ignore Dusty Dune.
Well, do you do Claire's gonna be doing.
Claire's
4,
not gonna be doing Freeze Flame Free because there is a faster star in Battle Rock Secret for her.
Battle Rock Secret route, yeah, that we've mentioned a lot.
The routes will converge when they both enter Oni Climb.
Yep.
Artemis is now facing the most annoying planet in the game. Hamo, of course. I mean, it's not that hard, but even when you make a mistake there, it's going to be really, really, really painful.
It can get pretty dirty. Please don't.
I hope somebody heard the facepalm.
I don't know if that was a facepalm or a snap, because I totally snapped into a finger gun.
No, it was just me facepalming my forehead.
Okay, I'm not sorry.
I figured that much. Oh, I didn't know with 2-player you could, with 2P you could hold them all in place.
Yeah, you can hold a lot
nice.
of place with
That's
2P.
nice.
That's
I didn't know that. Now I know.
Yeah,
I knew you could hold some enemies in place, but I never actually thought about holding them all.
Alright, well, you're gonna be using 2P.
I'm gonna be using 2P now. Tomorrow.
Watch it, next race you have.
Nah, probably not. But there's a use I have theorized for 2P, as in even as a 1P player, one could use 2P to gain an advantage in a galaxy. That might be worth going for because it might unlock better routing. But stay tuned on that. As that, I'm still doing the math on that. So
math is hard.
But useful sometimes.
It is very useful.
Trust me, I'm an engineer. Math is useful.
World always needs more engineers. And Artemis taking down this boss here as Claire enters it.
Artemis is catching up.
Definitely. Oh no.
Ow, oof. I mean, Artemis right now is behind a star, but the fight lasts about a minute. 55 seconds from when you enter, assuming no mistakes. So...
Again, we really won't know who's ahead until the routes converge.
Well, actually, as I said, Freeze Flame Secret, Freeze Flame 2 is 2 minutes and 10 seconds. 8 seconds, I think, is the community sum of best gold. So you can get a picture with that. Claire is about a minute behind, quote-unquote, right now. But she has a 2-minute advantage, so Artemis is behind by a minute. But that was, I believe, more. I believe that was probably a minute and a half at its worst, but she's catching up.
And so this stage is kind of interesting.
The secret star, you mean? Like the most well-hidden, not completely obvious secret star in the game?
Yes. Look at
I mean,
that.
the hardest part is figuring out how to unlock the rainbow star, to be honest.
That is true. I just always forget when secrets happen.
That's fine. If you haven't played and/or run the game in a while, it's kind of, I mean, it's understandable. It's just that there's no obvious quote unquote I'm entering level secret, of course, because it's a secret.
Yeah.
You've seen
because the game wouldn't tell you a secret.
Yeah. You've seen a bit of an optimized movement by Claire skipping having to kill a piranha plant by just landing on the other planet. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's very cool. It saves a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Claire is actually doing Gusty Garden free before Gusty Garden secret.
Yeah, see, this is what I thought was gonna happen.
Actually, technically, doing Gusty Garden free before is faster, but you generally do secret early because you want to. If you miss the question mark coin, you have a backup in Gusty Garden free. Vice versa, it's not true, of course.
Yeah. Safer.
Yeah, safer. You pay for safety with a 1 second time loss, so
Yep.
might be worth it, of course, because if you fail that, you have to quit the star and re-enter, which is
That's
long.
not fun. What is fun is skipping stuff, which Claire just...
Not even using 2P.
Yeah. So you can kind of do some cool stuff in this level to kind of change where the gravity's going, or you can just skip all of it with a long jump. And guess what's faster?
Well, that was pretty obvious. As a side effect, also there should be like a barrage of cannons, cannonballs firing and stuff, but well, that's not activated until you flip the second trigger. And
Of the gravity, yep.
oh god, Artemis got that by 1.5 miles. Wow.
Artemis, yeah, up there. And Claire gonna be doing this comet now before the secret. We're gonna have another daredevil. Usually, when there's a boss, there's gonna be a daredevil. So we're gonna be having Major Burrows on 1 HP.
Oh yeah, I figured as much. She has to swap the start order because the comet. She's actually 1 star ahead entering, so the comet has to be on the same star number. So yeah, she's gonna do comet before.
Yeah.
And this
So we
comet
already-
is again, it's not hard,
Yeah.
but a small mistake can cost 40 seconds easily. So we
Fun.
want to be careful here.
Yeah, not as notorious as many people probably remember the Bouldergeist Daredevil casually,
Oh
but
god.
we don't have to worry about that in any descent.
Also RNG, dude.
That's
Claire just doesn't care. I love the fact that you can be easily screwed by Major Burrows if he spawns on the side of the. Basically, this planet is just like a weird, let's just say, donut, but without a hole in the middle. You have the tree, and on the side, Major Burrows can screw you pretty fast.
donut, but it has a tree.
Yeah, it's just a donut with a. I don't know. You get the point. On the side, it can get bad pretty fast. Claire just doesn't care. It goes in very, very close to Major Burrows. That's some confidence there.
Alright. So Claire's gonna be getting into that secret that didn't get yet. Artemis, I'm gonna be moving on. Got all 5 stars.
We can actually use the occasion to time how ahead Claire is.
Yeah.
Artemis got the star at 1:33 or 06. So
Alright.
we'll see when Claire gets a secret, and of course we have to subtract then 3 and we'll have a picture. A pretty, let's say, close picture. In the meantime, best galaxy in the game.
Yep,
From
freeze flame.
Artemis.
Do you like ice? Do you like fire? Yeah,
You like
have 'em both.
skating? You like skating? Everybody likes skating in this game.
Yep.
Okay, Artemis is behind by 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Look at that penguin. It has ice, it has fire, it has birds. It's perfect.
Shoutouts to penguins actually being birds.
Shoutouts to penguins actually being birds.
Are they birds though? Mind blown.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, doing Freeze Flame 1, as you can see, nice triple jump there. Nice skating triple jump by Artemis.
Yep. Yeah. We want to use what we can, including lots of skating, to get up to the top here, where we have a little mini boss fight against a boss I really want to call Chief Chili, but that's not the right game.
But you can call that spiky ball of ice that is the easiest boss in the game, probably, beside the Honeb 2 bug, which is a bug on top of another. That is just a standard enemy on top of another standard enemy. So
Great.
Yeah. Being called the easiest boss after that just speaks volumes about what it is. I mean, easiest boss in speedrunning terms, because really there's no way in hell you're gonna die in this fight, unless you're being like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just didn't want to pronounce that because of pronunciation problems with R. Me.
Yeah.
I hope you can forgive me. I hope you can forgive me for that.
It's fine. And okay.
I think we're having a bit of problems with Claire.
I think we're having a bit of problems with both sides.
Well, Claire is back. It's fine for me. I mean,
yeah, everything's running good now. It was just a quick hiccup. Now we get to do this, where... Oh, okay. So Cosmic Luigi shows up, and you get to do a race across this little section here.
You'll be seeing this section, actually, is part of the 3rd star in Freeze Flame. And generally, comets are part of the stars you've already done, but apparently this does not need Freeze Flame.
Yeah.
I have no clue on why Nintendo decided that, but hey.
So Claire's not even going to do the original instance of this star.
Yeah, exactly. She's just going to do the comet.
Yeah.
Because it's available.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's a very fast star. The comet is a very fast star. And we'll be seeing a very cool... I don't know if we'll be seeing the lava boost strat, which is one of the coolest strat in the game for me.
Freeze Flame 2.
Yeah, there's of course a skip. There's a skip in practically half of the galaxies, so I should probably mention there's a skip in this galaxy because you're just gonna assume that there is.
Not again.
So apart from some optimized movement in breaking the crystals and grabbing the star chips, we're gonna have a lava boost there on our ends. Maybe. The skip consists in avoiding grabbing the fire flower in a very slow section. Just doing... Okay, Claire's gonna do the safe version of the skip.
So going over here. And gravity's cool.
Yeah. Feels good, man. When you first try that without losing life and you just hit the lava.
Yeah.
And yeah, Artemis is going for that too. The lava boost strategy is actually faster, but it's let's say that if you fail that even once, you lose. It saves half a second on the strategy that you're seeing on screen, and if you fail that the setup even once, you lose like 3 seconds for the setup alone. If you fail the setup twice, you can't do that anymore. So you can guess why they are going for the safe strat here.
Yeah. It's just... Don't waste yourself too much. And, alright, Artemis is good.
Artemis, okay, she's gonna be fine, but... Yeah, that's dancing on the edge of lava. It's not the greatest idea.
I mean...
Well, she pulled off, so it worked.
Yeah. And... Alright, so now Claire gonna be heading into the comet.
Also, having a shake drop in that point is the worst nightmare.
God.
Especially if you have 1 health. But even with 2, it is very bad. For reasons I'm not gonna explain.
It should be obvious.
Not really, because you should think, okay, if I just need to buffer enough time in the air for me to be able, for the torches to activate and the basically the barricade to go down, even if I get a lava boost, I should be fine. But if you're in the lava boosting state, the game is not gonna activate any cutscene. So either you manage to land.
So you're mega dead.
Yeah, even if you manage to land on basically, even if you have 2 health, you either manage to land on safe land, which is very far, and you're not gonna expect to get a shake drop, of course, because it's a shake drop. It's not something you're controlling, or you're dead, and 99% of the times you're dead. The only thing you can do to save yourself is try to buffer in a ground pound. But yeah, it's very Monka-esque if that happens. Ouch. Whoa, that was close. Artemis just had a very close moment there. Yeah, and Claire doing the secret star before Artemis, and I think that after that she'll be leaving a freeze flame. So we'll see after Claire finishes the star and Artemis finishes. I don't know if Artemis still has to do secret though. I don't know. Laurie, did Artemis already do secret?
Don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if Claire had big problems in all these other stages to make it so that Artemis would be ahead of her on her way to the next galaxy.
No, that's right, that's right. So what we're seeing now, since they're both going to be doing Freeze Flame Secret, yeah, it's the actual time difference now. So the routes are converging right now. So what you're seeing on screen is the actual time delta.
Okay. Yeah, Artemis heading back into.
Yeah, exactly.
And then after this stage is where the routes finally converge again?
Yeah, basically, actually they do Freeze Flame Secret in this as the same star number, so they're actually already converged before going into Oniclimb. So we can actually add the first delta that's actually accurate to the second.
Woohoo!
Which was 1:42.39 for Claire. Claire's run, I don't have my splits because I'm on another PC, but I've seen that Danny was in the chat before. If Danny is still, well, if you don't know Danny, he's the 4th place runner for Galaxy. I'm gonna add.
Also very good.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Danny, if you're still in the chat, can you give us the comparison, a comparison from your PB to Claire's time right now? How far behind is she in Freeze Flame Secret? Yeah, of course, if it's still there, it will be a good ballpark to see where she can head. Of course. Now we're gonna be seeing the Oniclimb glitch.
I don't know.
Basically, I'm gonna explain that. We don't know yet what happens technically. My hypothesis is that basically when you press against the wall, the game basically gets confused because you're pressing against the wall. So the game feels that the ground is under you. But then you're actually going to stick to the wall. And if you don't press any direction, also nice bug boost there. Very nice. It's a surprisingly complex strat, but she lost the setup for what I was trying to explain. Ow, and that can hurt a lot, as you can see right now. So, my theory for that is that the game, if you don't press up, doesn't register that the new ground, quote-unquote, is the flat plane you're sticking to. So, it gives you a lot of boost, a lot of momentum, because it instantly switches to the plane of where the Oni is as ground as soon as you jump off and spin. So it's like you get a gravity boost, but just basically turned sideways, quote unquote. It's really weird. I don't know if this theory is actually the truth. If it's so, it's a very weird thing, and I don't think it's applicable in any other stage.
He's wacky.
It's very, very weird. It's just very cool to see.
Yes, and so we're gonna have. Well, Artemis is gonna be doing more of that.
Also, I got the time for Claire, but I didn't get the time for Artemis in Gusty Garden in Fierce and Secret because I wasn't paying attention. Great job, me. We can actually have the first accurate Delta. Doesn't pay attention.
Okay. It's somewhere, I forget where I set a time for Claire, but it's somewhere between like 57 and 59 in Claire's favor. So,
okay. So we can see Artemis. Artemis has been slowly but surely catching up. I don't know if it will be enough because the number of stages is running out. At this pace, he's not gonna be able to catch up, actually.
But we've seen some of the bigger mistakes happen, so
yeah,
they could come back to haunt us, especially with this thing coming up.
Cool skip gravity thing where you get momentum going.
Nice.
That height was massive. That skip you know that the skip got through by a large margin when you actually can land on top of the platform and not having to wall kick.
Yeah, that was really good from Claire.
Not even because of this time save, just because I got the skip by miles, and even if I made a small mistake, I would have still gotten that. Artemis!
Thank you, Artemis.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's what I needed.
Whoa.
And so yeah, Claire into the second fight with Bowser.
Now we can spin.
Oh,
but then just makes the same mistake.
Yeah. For the most part, not too much. Oh, okay. Artemis
actually, you can lose a lot of time in this fight.
Oh, fun.
If you don't know the strats and how to cancel the attacks, basically.
Well,
and that's what I meant. Unfortunately, Claire gave us an example. Oof.
Yeah.
What she wants to do here is spin, jump, and spin. Oh, that's gonna hurt a lot.
That's very bad.
Advantage Artemis.
Yeah. Claire's all the way back here.
Just like
Artemis
that. 50 seconds. Gone.
In the lead. Both of them with the first hit, though. It looks like they're really close now.
Yeah. There's 3 to 4 seconds in between them. This race is actually being very good.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, I don't know if for anybody would be worth to stay up until 5 AM to commentate such a race. I think it's worth. I think it's worth.
I mean, I'm in the lucky part of the world where it's like not even 11 PM for me.
The two runners are both American. I live in the EU. They decided to run the game in the evening, and yay!
Yeah, I am in, I believe, the same time zone as Claire. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, this morning for me we had a race, and this morning for me is late night for you guys. So I guess it all evens out.
Yeah, you had a race that started at like 5 a.m. for me.
Yeah. So we've seen that Artemis with... You remember that they were 3-4 seconds apart? Artemis knows how to cancel properly the attacks and didn't make any mistake in the fight. You can see that the time delta suddenly jumped to 20 seconds. It's that easy to lose time in the fight.
Yeah. Claire's Mountain. I'm not even close. Okay. And with that, we have our 5th dome unlocked. It's the engine room.
Yeah, where the space warp drive thing resides, I guess, since it's called the engine room, and this thing can apparently FTL. I would love Rosaline to explain me how does this thing FTL, but yeah, it's Mario physics, so
don't worry about it.
Exactly.
So we just got a new place. Let's go there now. Artemis is going to be heading up to the engine room and hitting up some new galaxies.
Yeah, what's going to happen now is that the engine room is only visited once, and that's because one fell swoop, just do all we need and then leave. Yep. Of course, that's the optimal thing, because the engine room is located up, and it takes a while to get there. So you don't want to do that twice.
But it does have Gold Leaf.
Also, a small note, we might see another route divergence, but that's because runner preference. Some people prefer to do toy time first, or rather just unlock all the galaxies, or just unlock toy time, I guess, because of a mistake. But whatever, it doesn't lose any time to unlock 2 galaxies by mistake, unless you don't do that galaxy, because you would still do that later on, of course.
Yeah.
Some people prefer to do the galaxies in different orders here.
Yeah.
Also, nice setup for that backflip spin.
Fortunately, to make commentary life way easier, we do have both going to the same galaxy, so we don't have to commentate 2 galaxies at once.
Technically, it could still change.
I guess.
Because there's 2 more galaxies after this.
Yeah.
Artemis grabbing the star very early, but that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, bunnies. Artemis fortunately knows the strats. That was an actually very interesting strat. She sent the bunny in the water, stood away so the bunny would jump in place in the water slowly, and then just rushed the bunny to grab it. That is actually very smart. And she kept all the star bits. That's some deep knowledge of the game. And Claire got the bunny whisperer strat.
Nice.
Yeah, basically what it does, it just confuses the bunny, and the bunny walks into your ends. Shoutouts to Trashful for finding that. Shoutouts to Trashful in general. He's the guy that made the routing for the route they're currently using.
Mm-hmm.
Together with April. So, yeah, they've contributed a lot to the routing, so shoutouts to them.
Yeah.
So, I think Artemis is steadily gaining, though.
I think so?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more than 20 seconds now, and as I say that, commentator's curse, she bonks.
Yeah.
Now, most annoying cataquack in the game. No, not really. Well, whatever. It can be useful. The next ones are going to be the most annoying cataquacks in the game.
Cataquacks are great.
Cataquacks are the most... I hope the person that invented the concept of the Cataquack just suffers terrible fate.
Yeah.
Now, this...
I just hope the person who invented Cataquacks has to do the Watermelon Festival for all eternity. They deserve
Artemis gets the strategy for this planet spot on, then makes, well, not really a mistake, but you see why Cataquacks are bad.
Then gets messed up by the Cataquack.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the Cataquacks...
Actually, Claire is doing now the triple jump that Artemis did to skip this whole Cataquack thing part. Oof. Well, well, 2P! Yay! She just do that. That's cool.
We're getting up here, getting the Cataquack up here. Artemis getting the star.
Yeah, Artemis getting the star using the bee mushroom, skipping the section using the bee mushroom. Luigi can do that pretty easily. With Mario, you have to do a slightly different strat, but it's still doable. So why go around the whole planet when you can just... When you can just triple jump with 2P, I guess. If you're Claire.
Yep. Another buffer here. There we go. Claire has that star. Artemis heading into this next stage.
I love the fact that Artemis in all of this is finding the time to write, yeah, I'm 30 seconds ahead now. Of course, I mean, as I said, you can technically be on world record pace and still find the time to interact with chat. So I guess just right, she's interacting with us, I guess.
That's good. Getting that jump up there.
Yeah, you're supposed to grab the bee mushroom, but the bee mushroom is low. Not mentioned that, but you can't long jump. And as you might have guessed, the long jump is the preferred form of movement in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty fast. Now Artemis getting also the cutscene skip. Basically, you can barely get out of the cutscene trigger by spinning and then entering in a different place, walking on the fence. And the boss is gonna activate in the music when you get the first hit, but it's not gonna attack. And Claire unfortunately missed that, which means that on the third phase she might lose time if she's not careful.
Oh dang. And Artemis getting the star for the fight.
Yeah, Claire. Yeah, that's what I meant. He's gonna fire 5 bubbles in rapid succession.
Still doing a nice job.
Yeah, Artemis got pretty clean, and Claire unfortunately is on the wrong side. I feel. Yeah. I don't know if she doesn't know the attack or she forgot, but basically, depending on where you ground pound the cannon, you're gonna be sent on one side or the other, and you want to be sent on the other in that case, because you're gonna be near the star. But yeah, that's not happened clearly. This is, in fact, a Gold Leaf secret. Pretty straightforward star. Just ring a bell, get some notes. It's pretty fast.
Yep.
So not much to say here. We're already pretty close to the end, so we might want to just make a few considerations, I think, about what's left. And by that I mean just considering what's left that can be a major time loss.
Well, I'm not quite sure. This Cosmic Comet coming up doesn't strike me as something that'll kill a run.
Ask Father the Dragon.
Wow. Do I want to bring up the Super Viper clip?
No, I don't want to bring up the fact that the skip that the runners used in Goldie Free, where you've seen the backflip on the tree and getting 2 wall kicks. It can also be used there. The problem is that the camera is completely different, so if you don't have a different setup, it's not gonna work. And you're on a timer, because if Cosmic Luigi reaches the star, you're dead, and you have to restart the run. Not the run, but well, the race versus Cosmic Luigi, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So, Artemis without breaking a sweat, of course.
Yep, very well done.
Making it look easy. And we'll see if Claire can replicate that. So, C-slide from... well, that wasn't the... Oh, yeah, I forgot it. She has 2P strats also that can be used.
Yeah, getting up there a bit quicker.
Yeah, not quicker, necessarily, but she can skip needing the second wall kick, which is indeed very useful. It's very, very useful. Actually, that makes it way easier. That's cool. I never thought about that way, but that's cool. I'm learning a lot of stuff about 2P watching this race, because I've never watched 2P too much myself, actually. So.
Let's see. So yeah, no, they're both now entering the C-Slide Galaxy, which is... Okay, actually, no, Claire is switching up and doing Toy Time.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Well, Artemis is doing a side and Claire is going to do a very weird star, and it's pretty long. You're gonna see a lot of cool movement, but it's not... There's no major skips until you get to the boss. It's just basically cool ways to use the movement the game gives you. We can use the time to answer the question in the chat. Trevatans asked, you know, they're using 2 controllers. Well, I think you can call the nunchuck another controller, but
2 controllers.
The point is that it's technically Claire is using 3, 2 Wiimotes and a nunchuck. The advantage that gives is that Claire can use another jump. That's a 2P jump. Using gnoming ground pound while in the air and pressing A, because doing that makes the game think you're in the ground. It's weird, but you get the point. She can use the jump in the air, basically. And she can collect star bits a bit more efficiently with that, but that's about it. So yeah, she has a small advantage, but of course holding and multitasking a bit more can be tricky. So that's what makes it worth.
Yep.
So perfectly on time for I timed that to be an auto scroller of length. So great.
And now Claire making it to the end of this level, where we have Mecha Bowser. So this fight's got a good skip in it. You see here, jumping off that little gravity plane on the leg, and now climbing up the arm with wall jumps.
Yeah, it's called armpit skip because basically you get in the armpit of the Mecha Bowser.
Yeah, and skip everything else.
Yeah, it saves massively. There's also a version that is 5 seconds slower, I'd say, 5 to 10. But it's more consistent and easier to do.
I believe you did it in your race, yes.
Yeah, I did that. I think Timba did that too.
Yeah, I think you both did it. Yeah, I remember you both did the same setup. And so I guess we should talk about what's about to happen with Artemis, because, you know, usually when you think of swimming in a game, you don't think it's going to go that fast.
Oh, the setup is not working that well, though. Oh, okay, she finally got it.
There we go. So, yeah, now you're moving really fast in the water. Not expected. I don't know why that happens. Do you know why that happens?
Yes. Basically, when you surface, the game is locked in the... basically locks you in the surface state, and the air starts replenishing. Apparently, if you manage to enter that in the final frames, in the final 11 of 30 frames of the spin, you can gain the momentum, and then basically what you do is mash spin, which means just start shaking furiously, uncontrollably, because you can't time the spins. You have to mash to keep it. And what that does is that allows you to gain an awful lot of momentum and keeping it. And that's what you can see. That's called surface swim. Of course, and what you do is just you go really, really fast. To get it, however, you have to surface in the last third of the spin, though. And there's a couple setups to do that. And that is pretty cool. You're going to be seeing that tech again now. Whilst Claire does another level with tox boxes, it's pretty straightforward. Just clicking the buttons, and you click them all, a star spawns. Also, remember, if you, by chance, get squashed, it's an insta-death, so you might not want to do that.
Being squashed is bad.
Yeah. But I mean, in 64, for instance, you lose 3 out of 8 health. You lose 3 health too, but the health is free.
Yeah, so that's not good.
You can see now why this level is called Workout Resin, I guess. What Artemis is doing, I mean. Imagine shaking for 1 straight minute, because that's what's
awesome.
happening. It really isn't. I mean, after a while you get used to it, but it's not really the most pleasant thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Artemis is done with Sea Slide. It's a pretty simple level. I mean, the stars that we do there are just a race, swimming, an auto-scroller, and another race where you swim. So, there's not much to say about that, apart from the surface swim glitch. There's a bit more about... Is there a bit more to say about this other star in Toy Time? I guess. So, yeah, you have to grab the starships as always, and unlock a new launch star that will bring you... Oh, Claire failing the cool movement, but getting the backup with the 2P. It'll bring to another planet where there's a very pixelated version of Mario that you can walk on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so this pixelation is great because all the colors are different types of platforms.
Can you count lava as a platform?
Most of them are different types of platforms, and one of them just kind of is lava.
Well,
I mean, you can use lava as a jump if you're brave.
Well, I guess so.
I mean... But yeah.
Well, I was just kind of jokingly mean that, but well, technically lava is a platform. You can bounce off of it, I guess. So yeah, it kind of is a platform, not in the strict sense of the term. Many of you, if you've ever played the game casually, might remember what's behind Mario and what it entailed. Do you remember that, Laurie?
Oh yeah, I remember that. How could I forget? I'm not allowed to.
You know what's my PB for that star?
It's holding me hostage. I'm being held hostage by Pixel
coins
Luigi.
Out of 150 coins.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm being held hostage by Purple Coin Pixel Luigi, so... What? Artemis fallen off of the arm here. but now getting armpit skip.
Yeah, luckily she didn't die. You can die there and it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing happened there, so... Nice backup game.
Yeah, and Claire has a fast foes here, so...
Yeah, you don't... Again, you don't want to die in this level because it's very, very... it's easy... It's... Well, see, I think that Galaxy is full of levels that, on paper, this level is easy. Then you walk into the level and you remember that if you make even the slightest of the mistakes, 20 seconds go down the drain.
Yeah.
Even if you're using basic strats, that's the point.
Jeez.
Like here, there's not many advanced strats.
Good.
So, to round off what's going on right now. Artemis is 1 star in Toy Time, entering the second. I think Claire is done with Toy Time, and now has only Sea Slide remaining.
Yep.
So Sea Slide is pretty fast, but Artemis has already done the longest star in Toy Time. So I believe they're very close, but Artemis should still be slightly ahead. Should. Keyword being should. They're very close.
So... Not too much, because we've already explained...
Yeah, I was wondering that before.
What one person is doing via the other person already doing it.
Well, we didn't explain the auto-scroller, so... we could do that.
Alright, so... this shark likes to spawn rings for you to collect. And the shark also promises that if you collect all 8 rings, it will give you a star. So, you get to collect all 8 rings and get a star for it.
I love the fact that you're going that slow and still you're still just finished what you can say about that.
This is pretty good because we need 60 stars to make it to the final level of the game. And there are also 2 other stars that we're going to be getting in this galaxy.
That are fast.
Pretty fast due to
fast.
swimming. A swimming mechanic that lets you move faster on the surface of the water. That take place after you collect the star from collecting all 8 rings. It is also pretty easy to control your swimming thanks to the Koopa Shell, which is something not talked much about when it comes to swimming. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, you actually managed to fill up the time, which is an achievement in and on itself. About the Koopa Shell, not much to say apart from the fact that it has brake lights. And you watched I get that you watched the race today between me and Timba.
Yeah.
Did you see what I did with the brake lights?
I did not.
I was actually pressing the brake lights, doing it with the music of Sea Slide.
That's good. I like that.
It's the auto-scroller is that slow. You can afford to do that. Artemis is getting a bit glitchy there. That can happen every now and then with the button. It's not the best thing ever, of course, but...
Of course, yeah.
As long as you don't die, it's not a big...
Yeah. In the fast foes, according to chat, got a gold on the Toy Time secret.
Who got a gold?
Artemis.
Ooh.
So...
Yeah, Artemis has been playing better and better.
Very well.
We're going on, so...
Absolutely.
Which is really uncharacteristic, given what I mentioned early on. But yeah, it might be good news. I mean,
yeah. Stamina's definitely a thing that can kick into games like this. You know, you've been playing for well over 2 hours. You might be feeling a bit tired. I'm really tired.
Laura, you're tired.
I'm always tired. I woke up at 6 in the morning, okay?
I woke up at 8 in the morning. Do you know what time is it right now?
Don't talk to me about this, please. Artemis is done with the comment. Claire is done with... I don't even remember what Claire was doing.
Okay. Okay. Artemis still has Toy Time 2. Claire has Seas Light 2. Toy Time 2 is slightly faster than Seas Light 2. On paper.
On paper.
Toy Time 2 is also a star where you can't really choke that much. You might mess up the fast strategies.
Yeah.
But at worst you lose like 10 seconds. If you really mess up.
Fortunately, this game is not on paper, it's on the Wii.
Oh my god. Can I get exclamation mark ban Laurie in chat?
Nope, I'm the mod. I'm not banning myself.
Shh, doesn't really matter.
Have a good day. Jeez, well, one of your commentators made a pun.
By the way, Claire had some difficulties with starting the surface swim, but then she actually got it going.
Yeah, pretty well. Into first
You
place.
can see what I mean by Artemis, by Toy Time on paper being faster.
Yeah.
Toy Time on paper using the time, because using the Wii, Toy Time is also faster technically. So yeah.
All right, thank you for the clarification. I don't play video games on paper, so.
Well, Claire was very close to dying there. Where I reckon she had like a second more of air before she was dead.
I like how we make a joke about banning me, and like 2 mods that have barely been saying anything come out of the word works to try and see if they can ban me.
Well, you see, I can get some interaction in the chat. That's cool.
You have the influence.
Exactly.
All right, we're getting close to the end, though.
I can drive the community forwards. So Artemis exiting engine room 21717.
Yeah, nice.
Now we're back on track. Wow, that was close.
Back on track to the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean back on track as in back on sync.
Yeah.
And Claire is out 19 seconds later.
Dang.
Artemis was going to go to Beach Bowl, but that's not the right galaxy, sorry.
Oh. You want to go to Buoy Base.
Yeah. Buoy Base being the exception, as I mentioned before, it's a just a one-off stage, the question mark block category, let's say, but it has 2 stars, one of them being a secret. And you will see it's a very obvious secret once we get to the point.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
Well, I thought it was a cool mechanic.
It's a cool mechanic. It's just not hidden at all.
Yeah, I always also Artemis playing a bit with the camera, but failing to get the torpedo. I can never name torpedo something,
yeah.
Torpedo T something. To get out early, but I think she managed that quite as well as she wanted.
Mhm. And
Claire did that. As you can see, Claire did that. As you can see, the torpedo was already out when she got there.
Yeah.
Basically, you want to destroy, well, the buoy, to basically let the floating platforms up and allow you to go forwards into the level.
Yep. You do want to climb up this tower.
Collecting the bits, or maybe not.
Yeah. Take a guess on what we're going to be doing with these blue starships, because, I don't know, we've been skipping a lot of those. We should probably collect them someday.
Well, with Mario, you have to, because this is a skip that's Luigi exclusive. Mario cannot do that.
Mario
is
silly.
Oof!
Oh no! That is no.
Ouch.
A series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, that can be very, very, very important for the end result. They were neck and neck, but now Artemis has a significant advantage.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, that is bad news.
This is definitely bad news. There's still drip drop though, so
Yep.
you never know, but this is definitely a glancing blow to Claire's chance of win.
Yeah, that was definitely
win.
really bad. Like,
Yeah,
probably shouldn't
well,
have.
falling down was already bad enough, with the time loss on top of that of dying is.
Yeah.
Now Artemis is getting to Secret, which is a pretty straightforward star, as in get the bullet bill, jump through there, and lower the bullet bill where it needs to be. That is
Green star.
on the cage. We got a green star. As said, if you had grabbed the star's first green star, you would have been brought back in front of Rosalina, but alas, you already know what green stars are, so
we already grabbed the Battle Rock Luigi.
Exactly.
So we're all good on that. What we do need to do, though, is we're at 58 stars right now?
Yes.
For Artemis, so we
It's
just
drip
need to
drop
do
time.
2 more. Yeah, so the first one we're going to do is drip drop.
So... Eel fun!
Eel. I'm eelly excited for this. You don't have to pretend you heard that. Okay.
Lol. Oof. Yeah. Ouch. That also hurt. The bullet bill hit the ground because it got lured by the enemy, which is also in the way right now. Oof. Oh. Oh. Ouch. Ouch.
Oh no.
Oh. Claire's really lost it now.
Yeah,
It's understandable. That thing would have tilted anybody, I think, the death.
Absolutely.
And Artemis with the perfect camera control right now.
Yeah. The camera's important here.
Yeah, well, we're not mentioned this in other stages where it's important, but basically the camera objects in this game that you can move only when on camera in this game. So you want to carefully maneuver your camera around the eels to keep the two that you're not having to shoot in the early part of the level still while you shoot the first one, and then basically do the same with the second one while keeping the third one just in the same place. So there's a lot more maneuvering than it looks around there.
Yeah, and it was very well done maneuvering by Artemis.
Yeah.
Text boxes.
We optimized that.
We also got a letter. I wonder who
Yeah.
it's from. It's from Luigi.
I mean, wait a second. So Luigi can send a letter to Luigi. Have you ever sent a mail to yourself? Like, I don't know, to have a file sent to yourself? Because that's exactly the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
basically.
It reminds me of Necrodancer, when you use a heal spell. When you have a ring that makes your spells more powerful, but you haven't gotten enough kills to use the heal spell without dealing damage. So you deal a heart of damage to yourself so that you can heal a heart of damage.
Lol.
Necrodancer's a weird game.
It's a cool game, though.
It is really cool. And,
So- We saved Luigi from a big, scary bug, I guess.
it was not that big or scary. But it got us a star, so, like, we'll take it.
I mean, Luigi apparently can create stars out of the blue, so... Claire getting frame-perfect jump. Never mentioned that because nobody got that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, okay.
Also using 2P to stop the eels. Oh boy.
Oh, boy. That's actually pretty
Oh
cool.
boy. Cool strats.
Well, They seem to be working out for Claire, so
Indeed.
that's definitely pretty nice. And
Oof.
what is happening?
She didn't get the shell with a spin.
Torpedo Ted.
And the Torpedo Tim, I think it's Tim or something like that.
It's Ted.
Ted. Torpedo Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted. I thought Tim. Well, whatever. And the Torpedo destroyed the shell. That's what happened.
Hey, Torpedo Tim also sounds nice.
I mean, Bullet Bill, Torpedo Tim, it just sounds that. Torpedo Ted just sounds off. I don't know. Well, whatever.
We could start saying Bullet Ben.
Oh, God. Please, no.
Alright, yeah.
So, Artemis going into the final boss.
Yeah.
And the stage before it, of course.
With 60 stars, you can go to the center of the universe.
Apparently. 60
Is what the
stars
cool kids
allows
call it.
60 stars can power an FTL drive. I wonder what...
Yeah.
I mean, it's stars, so I can guess the amount of energy is high enough, but...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Go, Luigi.
Exactly.
Yeah, so... the final level here is going to be center of the universe. Very...
The fate of the universe.
Fate.
Well, the fate
Could
of the
be in the
universe is
center.
decided at the center of the universe, so I guess it makes sense.
Of the universe. It's kind of a gauntlet-ish level. Gonna be a lot of different planets with a lot of different things happening. Kind of just like a gauntlet, as I mentioned. So you got some of these gravity changing lights.
There is a lot going on. The first part of the level is crucial, and I don't know if Artemis has done enough to get early cycle. She did. Nice job there.
Yeah, so with that damage boost there, you can make it up.
It got a bit iffy when she got into the gravity pool of one of those weird, as you can see, there is this weird tubes of light that basically project gravity.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get into that at the very beginning of the level, but she accidentally did, and that jeopardized a bit the chance of getting an early cycle and gaining 5 to 10 seconds. And she got that, so pretty good movement there.
And you're just seeing skips everywhere right now. You're just seeing more long jumping games, places where there aren't platforms to hit platforms later in the stage. Because there's a lot of small spherical
Movement
planets.
optimizations. And there's a lot of movement optimizations in there.
Yeah. So you just have a lot of places where you can do things like that, which is pretty cool. Gotta be careful though, because at 1 HP from the previous fire bar is going to be getting coins under the.
Yeah, actually, you're not meant to be at 1 HP. She actually got a bit of I don't know, not really a glitch, but the momentum basically the game got confused the center to the other side. So she lost the invincibility frames sooner, or rather, she lost the invincibility frames before eating the fire bar. So
I hate Booey Face.
Understandable. I
saw text appear on Claire's screen and I was like, what is that? Alright, well, I mean, I'm glad her feelings are in this. Claire's going to be entering the level now, as Artemis is going to be getting into the final fight with Bowser.
This implies a time delta of around 3.5 minutes.
Booey Base is very rude.
Booey Base was very rude there.
Yeah, but we'll see how Claire does in Fate of the Universe.
That 2P jump was very cool. You know what's the fun part? This is still PB pace for Claire.
That's cool.
By a long shot.
And with a good early cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Artemis is in pace for a high 231, which is definitely not bad. Claire getting invisible walled twice there. Oof.
Fun. Oh,
Oof.
no.
basically the developers put there an invisible wall because they thought, hey, they're gonna long jump straight. Of course, we can put an invisible wall. But they didn't think that long jumping at 45 degrees and lava boosting would be an option. That's exactly what we do.
Welcome to video games.
Well, Artemis now is in the final Bowser. Shout out to the music in Final Bowser.
Very much.
First phase is done. Bowser transforms into a boulder, and you have to hit the face. This phase is hit them with the weird green springy things.
Yes.
Let's say.
You can spin into them, and then they will shoot out and hit Bowser, and then you can hit Bowser. And then you have the final phase, which is
taking the place in the center of a core of a star that's an empty... I don't know what Nintendo thinks stars are made of.
I don't know what Nintendo thinks anything is, but they're probably wrong.
Well, nice damage canceling there. You saw Bowser initiating another attack, but if you get it at the right moment, you can cancel his animation.
Yep.
So, great execution there by Artemis.
Absolutely.
Another attack canceling there, you can see. And she got the perfect fireball.
Very nice.
This was a textbook Bowser fight. Of course, when I say that, she misses the spam. Well, it's kind of easy to do that every now and then. Because, well, Bowser can go in different ways.
Yeah, that was pretty wacky.
Yeah, there is a setup to direct him, but even that is not really 100% safe. So
yeah.
But I guess Artemis made it, and it's a 2:31, which is a very good time. For reference, Artemis PB is 2:30.14, if I remember correctly.
Dang.
So, great. That was a good finishing time, 2:31.45. And since we don't really have that much time, I would say that we can get Artemis in for a few questions while we'll see the end of the run, I guess.
Hi, Artemis.
So, hi, Artemis.
Yo. Hey, what's up?
Congratulations.
I did not expect to win. Let me start with that. With how my early game was. Ooh.
Well, to be honest, Claire was ahead up until Bowser 2.
I know. I was listening to the entire thing, as you can tell by my chat.
and the point is that you appear to... Basically, consistency appeared to be shifting between Claire and you. The more we went on, basically it appeared that you were getting more and more consistent the more time was passing, and Claire was getting less and less consistent.
That's correct. You mentioned earlier that I'm usually very consistent at early game and not very good at end game, which is true usually, but today decided to be different, which I appreciate, I suppose.
Well, now you just gotta get the early game right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if my early game went well, I could have PB'd by maybe a minute and a half.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I know
I'm long overdue for a PB.
Well, yeah, I believe in you.
We know the struggles of the 2:29 and basically what that means, but I'm pretty sure that if the late game was the block, that wasn't allowing you to get that, this day was pretty sure a demonstration that that's possible. That the consistency of the game is very possible.
I mean, so, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering over my words. I know I've been capable of 2:29 for a very long time now. It's just I've had difficulty putting it together and the frustrations of actually getting a decent run to continue. At least to my standards, but my standards are far too high.
Yeah, that's understandable. And Claire is just about to finish. I think that's a PB for her anyways, which is a testament to how far ahead she was of her PB and the potential that she has.
Absolutely.
I don't feel sorry for the guy that's gonna get her in the loser's bracket. At all. Because she's gonna be slicing through there, I fear. So, she's gonna be a very tough opponent.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, when did you feel that clicked, Artemis? When did you feel that okay, I've turned this around? Meanwhile, welcome Claire, and congratulations. Did you PB actually? Just
did
a small
PB
question.
by 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Nice.
Congratulations on that. So, just having the Artemis answer now.
Yeah, so everything, like, up until, like, into the second trip to the kitchen, second trip to the fountain, or maybe it wasn't second trip to kitchen, I don't remember. This game is difficult. Because that was when I was failing at Ghostly Secret and the Bowser Jr. 2. And then a little after that, I was failing with Space Junk Comet. But as soon as I entered bedroom, that is when I turned everything around. Just, I don't know what happened. Just after I went into bedroom, I was like, all right, if I want to win, I actually have to play well. And I did. It just worked.
Yeah, that's pretty understandable. Maybe it's because in bedroom, you don't have many skips. So basically just getting a sequence of galaxies right, put you in a correct mindset, and you'll basically be able to chain, to get the hype train rolling. And from there, just, well, the sky's the limit, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when I was going out of bedroom into engine room, like with Honey Climb, Bowser 2, and Gold Leaf 1. Those stages really clicked because I golded all 3 of those in a row.
Wow.
So I just that was when I'm like, all right, I gotta win. Especially when I heard Claire died, like, which I'm sorry, by the way. But I was.
I'm so upset about that too. I feel cheated because I didn't think I should have died. I think the game was being mean to me there. That's okay.
I'm sorry for you, but I'm also very happy that you died.
Yeah,
it saved me. And then I guess you did make those mistakes at the end, but that was the first time where I was like, I can actually win, because then I was ahead. But I didn't think I was going to be able to win after how consistent we were, or you were playing up until that point.
I was playing so good until I died.
About that, exactly, Claire. I've mentioned in the early part of the stream how Artemis is known for her very strong, extremely strong early game that's on par to that's world record pace, but then she struggles to put things together in the late gaming runs. And the exact opposite happened, and you, Claire, were just storming on the early game. At one point, you were 1.5 minutes ahead, which is insane.
My early game was really good, and then I got sad towards the end.
Yeah, just at a point, I noticed, oh, Artemis is catching up in the bedroom. I don't know why is that. Maybe just slightly more optimized movement, more experience with any percent routing. But from there, I don't know. The Bowser 2 death was probably what tilted you a bit, I think. But if you can walk through the actual episode, maybe you can just give us a more insight on that.
What? Can you repeat that?
If you can walk us, what happened why did you feel cheated in Bowser 2?
Because I had the 1 health, and then I did the thing to hit the dude, right? But it didn't hit him, and I got hit instead.
That's the best explanation I've ever heard.
I feel like I didn't mess that part up. I feel like Bowser just hit me because he felt like it.
Yeah, actually, that was a repeated. You just tried that setup like twice, and you just didn't get it twice. And after that, you were able to get that easily. So, yeah, that can be tilting. So I understand that, but. Yeah, anyways, congratulations for your PB, even though it's the first runs you're getting in 90%. So I'm pretty sure that with the skill you've demonstrated today, you can easily get a 233, 232, I guess.
Oh, thank you. I think I got it. Ooh. My sum of best is a 229 now, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think mine hit 224 this run.
Nice. That death on Bowser too. But the thing that really made me sad was buoy base. That made me so mad because that was so dumb.
Yeah, that I mean, maybe that's, I don't know if you were were you following the stream, Claire?
A little, not much.
Okay, because I thought you might have been okay. Artemis didn't screw up this. I need to get this right, and it might have been might have been just a bit tilted by that. I don't know. It was just an hypothesis I was making up. So, but yeah, congratulations to both of you. Yeah, there was a really good race that kept us on our toes basically up until that buoy base when Artemis got the definitive lead, and that was at this point that was her race to lose, and I guess she didn't. So, great job there. Also, I wish to you, Artemis, that this can be what breaks the endgame curse, and to Claire that, well, this is the first of many PBs, because this is a very interesting category, so I'm kind of hoping you run this more.
Any percent is not as fun as 120. I'll just say that much.
Disagree.
Any percent is bad.
I don't have 6.5 hours of my life to spend every night grinding it.
Well, it's still better to do.
Disagree again.
Laurie, do we have something up after this?
I think I double-checked the schedule, but I am very forgetful, so I'll check it again.
Okay.
Right now, I know we have some Super Metroid going on. We have a Super Metroid weekly race going on Speed Gaming 4, and a tournament race going on Speed Gaming 5. We have Mega Man 2 randomizer race going on Speed Gaming 2. And I believe, if I can do the thing.
So, I think I'm gonna just be giving a look at and what are you guys going to where are you guys going to face? I think. Well, actually, I think that this was Claire. You already won your match versus True Gamer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the challenge tournament actually. But
I believe
yeah, this is not the actual tournament.
It looks like I'm
You're
gonna
be going to round 3 winners.
Round 3 winners, which
You're going to face the winner of Oddme and Fire Breather, it looks like.
Yeah. That'll also be interesting. Oddme he's a very good 120 runner as well. World record holder in 602, I believe. If I remember right.
Well, 602.
No, second place.
But second.
Okay, second. That's my
Has
bad.
won recently
I
in
misremembered.
602s because Valu has not been racing.
Yes,
But
that's right. That's what
But yeah, Oddme versus Fire Breather is going to start tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time, so in a bit over 9 hours.
I think I'm commentating that one.
Yeah, you are. You are with Potters.
Oh, wow. I forgot I signed up for that. That'll be fun.
So, yeah, make sure to get your sleep.
Yeah.
Or
I'll
don't.
try.
You could be
Yeah, I probably
chaotic.
won't. I won't sleep.
Okay,
It'll be great.
that's good. And meanwhile, Claire, if I can find here.
Yeah, Claire is gonna be in losers round 2, and she's gonna face the winner of between T Eater Adam, who lost the race early on, versus Galactic, which wasn't streamed on the gaming, and the loser of round 6, which is Oddme and Fire Breather. So appropriately, I guess.
So tomorrow you'll finding out one of your possible opponents.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, but both of you are going to be finding out who are you going to face. So, yeah. Well, I guess it's about time to wrap it up. So, thank you everybody for being here. I hope you enjoyed the race as much as we did commentating. At least that's what I can say. So I think Laurie had fun too, I guess. But
we did have a lot of fun, yes.
So I hope you enjoyed the showcase that these very good runners of the game put on today, and I guess we'll be signing out. So goodbye to everybody, and watch probably the other races that are on Speed Gaming, because we support other games, and I hope I enjoyed very much looking at a OR randomizer. I just never
OR
thought it would be
randomizer
an interesting thing,
has
and
been
I love that.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much again, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. I'll miss you.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, bye. I'll miss you.